I'm just going to show you this. Just paper. This is a handout, just some of my notes, and I've done this class before, so I am going to give them to Mackenzie to send out after the class. If you guys want this, it's really just my teaching notes, but it might have some information. Basically, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's not going to be a long class. I don't want to, wear you guys out, but we're here to have a buyer consultation class. This is the importance of having systems in place. So anyway, I'm going to start with welcoming. I'm not going to give you the nuts and bolts of what you should do. I'm going to give you some information, but I'm not going to say this is the way you should do it. I can give all the answers. If anyone has questions on how I do it, I'm going to do a lot of that. But what I say I do is not what I'm telling everyone they should do. They've got to work it out for themselves. I will give you a framework that you can build on and would encourage you guys to establish the systems that are already in place by Keller Williams. We can get in and we can print out our own little buyer consultation forms if that's something that you want to do. Some people are paper heavy on stuff. Some people want to put it on a PowerPoint. I've done that with buyers, more so with sellers than with buyers. But for the most part, we have resources in place for all that. We have scripts in place for working with buyers. And I mean, besides Keller Williams scripts, I have got books. I've got thousands of scripts to use. I will give you some examples of some scripts. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I just realized I didn't print out the script that I wanted to use, but it's okay because I can give that to you later too. Anyway, I'm just going to lay a groundwork of how all this falls into place. I'm going to tell you a little bit. First off, I'm going to tell you briefly what it would look like to do a buyer consultation in 2019, which was a whole different world. And then it's important to know this moving forward because as things go back to normal, we'll go back to those kind of buyer consultations and the importance of that. In 2020, when COVID wrecked everything, we had to come up with new ways to do stuff. So that said, before you do anything else, our brokerage is God, family, and then business. So I'm actually going to open in prayer and then we'll get started, okay? God, I thank you, Lord, that we have got realtors that are godly, they have integrity, they have honesty, God. We just want to be a blessing to the clients that work with us. I thank you for the opportunity that you've given us to have this job and to be an influence in so many lives. I pray, God, for our brokerage to flourish so we can be a beacon of truth and integrity. I pray, God, that we can be trusted to do the right thing for our clients, that we remember that everything is to be win-win. Lastly, God, I do pray for our nation. God has his hand in every aspect of it. And we just ask, God, that your truth reigns supreme in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so Thanksgiving. Day before Thanksgiving, we were getting ready to host two families coming over to our house. And you guys might know this story. I was going crazy because my house was a complete wreck. I was supposed to be cooking a bunch of stuff. All these people were coming over and I get a call. Someone wanted to look at not only one of my listings, but two of them. That day, they were in town, going to be working at Murray State, and these were both $225,000 listings. So I've kind of figured out the price range. So I go, great. And one other, they wanted to look at a copper listing. So I sent my husband and my sons and everything with all the instructions that they may or may not have followed in cleaning the house. And I ran out the door to show property. I had a conversation with this lady. So the information that I had was coming to work at Murray State. So no one's going to really lie about that. They were looking at 2 1/4 houses, $225,000 houses. They asked for one other. And of course it was Wednesday and they told me they were pre-qualified. I was good enough with that. That's fine. I didn't get any paperwork in place and they seemed legit. So it's not like it was a safety issue. I ran out the door, spent time with them at one house. They liked it. Wasn't really it. They wanted acreage. They looked at the second house that I had was not the thing that they wanted. We looked at the third house. They liked that one, but I go, hey, there's one more. It was a copper listing. I called them. We were able to get in. It was a vacant house. I knew it was vacant. So we get in, we look at that one. And when we were standing at the door of the fourth house, they said to me, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we looked at your listing on Glenwood, which at the time was listed for $430,000. And I'm going, I thought I knew everyone that looked at that Glenwood house. I mean, when you have a $430,000 listing, you know who's showing it and you are following up like crazy with it. I'm just saying, if you're a listing agent, that's what you do. So I was surprised. All of a sudden, this tells me that they got in with an agent because I didn't show them that house. And so they told me that they didn't have an agent in Murray, but that's what they said. The information is that they had an agent that was based out of Crylike in Bowling Green, and he is the one that showed them that house. And then they told me that, I said, I thought your price range, just acting like I was asking for information, but I was testing them. I thought that you wanted to be 250 and down. And they go, oh yeah, no, that's all we want. We want to be 250 and down. He just wanted to see the house because he was curious. So I got snookered 3 ways. One, I was working with buyers that had an agent show them property in Murray, whether or not he was a Murray agent or not. Number 2, I was snookered because my greed overtook what I was trying to do for my family. Because I thought I have a 2/3 chance of selling a good listing, 225, right? Or I have a chance of selling half of, another one. So, dual agent on 225 is a good deal. So, and then of course, to these 2 other houses. Then I was snookered the 3rd way because I realized that I didn't have any kind of a buyer loyalty agreement. I didn't have any kind of confirmation of what these people were doing. And they had this other agent. And so I started trying to pull them from the other agent in as ethical a way as I can. I said, I'll tell you what, if I will talk to him, I said, I'll call him and I will see if he will take a referral on me helping you guys. I would love to help you here. I'm familiar with the market. He may not be as familiar. Let's go ahead and do it that way. And they were non-committal. And then, but the phone call I had with them initially is what undercut all of this. They were pushy. I had greed that overtook common sense. They were saying stuff like, if you don't have time to show it to us, meaning my 2 listings, we'll find someone else. I'm over here looking at Kimberly and Brian. They said, we'll find someone else. What are you going to say? No. I got it. So a little bit of passive aggressive behavior, and I allowed it to play into my greed. So here's where we're at. I sense, of course, that's not the last mistake I've made. I've made more. I will continue to make mistakes, but I have put some protections in place when I'm working with my buyers. And this is what has helped me, I think, get to where I'm at in our sales. Because about 70% of my business is my buyers. Now, for those of you that are not listing property, I know you guys all list property, but the important thing to know is this: our listings drive the buyers. And if we take care of our listings and we show our listings right and we photograph them well and they are priced right, they will harvest a bunch of buyers for us. If we are not getting buyers on our listings, we need to guess what's wrong. We are either not taking good pictures, we're not presenting it right, we're not marketing it right, or we're not priced right. There's got to be a reason why we are not harvesting buyers from our listings. So I'm speaking to the choir here, but just the same. So let me kind of talk to you a little bit about these systems that I have put into place. In 2019, what I would do is I would make sure that I had, I would talk to a buyer on the phone a long time. I didn't do any short phone calls. I mean, it wasn't like, rarely was it like a 5-minute call. This was always like a 15 or 20-minute phone call with the buyer. I'm pre-qualifying them on the phone before I ever unlock or open a door for them, because I am not going to go drive a 1.5 acre somewhere to go unlock a door and find out that they are not qualified, with rare exception. And, we're all judges of our own situation. We know there's rare exceptions. There's going to be times we may have a name that we know. Might be like a state representative that calls us and says, hey, can I look at that house? Yeah, I'll do it, But for the most part, we need to use our judgment. So I have a long phone call with them, and my phone call follows certain criteria, and I'll go over that with you. This was even in 2019. Then if I wasn't really certain about these people, if I felt like they really needed to commit to me, if they had given me any indication through my scripts with them that they had been looking at houses with another realtor, that they had put in offers with another realtor. Obviously, your bells go off. You know, this is either someone that is not loyal, or this is someone that, I mean, if they're not loyal to someone else, they're not going to be probably loyal to you, and you need to get them to sign something. So if they haven't signed a loyalty agreement with someone, I made sure in 2019, and even some this year, but not as much, to have an office meeting before we ever look at property. Get them in the office. The main reason for that, let me see if I can get my notes here. Main reason for that is if they're not going to commit to a little, because sometimes they'll say, oh, I really don't want to go to the office. Can we just not meet at the house? I just want to meet the house that's right by my house, or I don't want to drive all the way to Murray to go look at a house in Mayfield, or whatever their excuse is. If they're not going to commit to a little inconvenience and meet you at the office, they are probably not going to be worth working with. Because when it comes down to it, and we're trying to get them to the closing table, we're going to need their commitment there too. So we need to vet our people. So I'm going to go through these notes. The following questions can help you determine a buyer's motivation up front before you make a potentially unwise investment with your time. The goal is not only to get an accepted offer, but it is to get the buyer to the closing table, which is our payday. You can pass those out to who's here. Okay, so first thing, the first contact with your buyer, and this would be 2020 in COVID world. This would be what happens on the phone. In the 2019 world, this is when I'm meeting them. I want to know if they are looking to buy a home. Believe it or not, I screwed up again this year. I'll tell you. We had someone that called me. Hi, I want to look at these houses. Someone referred me, and she said that you were great. Oh, that's super. Want to look at $300,000 lake property? That's good. Can I get your bank letter? We'll get that to you. But I was like, you know, it's a friend of a friend. Okay, whatever. I'll go ahead and I'll just run with it. I checked out their business. I totally scoped them out online. They were legit, but they did not present me their bank letter yet. And they did not need to sell to buy a second home. But they did verify, you know, verbally, you know, we can buy up to this amount. So we were looking at houses that their goal was 275 and down. We're talking about lakefront property or waterfront or lake area. They were okay with lake area, so we weren't looking on the water much. So I meet them and I show them a house and I show them a second house, and they're getting ideas, and they go, we really want to buy a house, but if we can't find the right house, we might build. So as time would happen, you know, they probably called me about 4 times. You know, we went out and looked at 2 or 3 houses each time. And, you know, I asked them for their bank letter or whatever. I think at some point they did send me a bank letter, but not initially. I didn't get it initially, and that was okay. But I asked them for specifics on what they wanted. And I think this is super important when you're getting motivation. I said, tell me exactly what your dream house looks like. They go, we really want the cabin look. Want these vaulted ceilings, you know, a rock fireplace, because we want to have family gather there in the summer and in the winter. We see it as a place where our family is going to come together. They have family here in Murray and family in Nashville. They're all going to come together. And I get it. But they want a vacation home that's going to be kind of year round. So I'm thinking, okay, they want cozy, they want lake area. We get it. And they had other parameters. And I got all their stuff. Okay, on their wish list was like 8 things. Their must-haves were cozy, fireplace, log cabin, and a summer place with some flat land. The 8th home I showed them was perfect. Price was right. The look was right. The area was right. They didn't have anything negative to say about it. The husband liked the house and the wife got mad. And that's a long story. She walked out and sat in the car. And I thought, what the heck is going on? You know, for the women in the room, I was thinking maybe it wasn't the best time of the month for her to be looking at property. And so I go, okay, fine. I can't understand why this house, it was perfect. And the price was excellent, everything. Because they did not want to buy. Their goal was to get ideas on building houses, and that's all they were doing. She was running around taking pictures, and I got permission for every house we looked at. She was running around taking pictures of things that she liked. And okay, so they did buy from us. They bought a lot. How much was it?
$23,000.
A $23,000 lot. Now, that's fine. Money's money. But the issue is that They had us all over hill and a half acre looking at these houses with the misimpression, because I did not really vet them, that they were going to buy a house. Nothing wrong with them looking at lots. So I should have questioned them more, and I should have pushed back on them more, but I didn't. Okay, so that's important. You need to know, are you looking to buy a home? Some may be leading you on with intentions, so they're just trying to lease, wanting to rent, or they're just looky-loos. Make sure that they have talked with a lender. I do not work with anyone that has not talked with a lender, with rare exceptions. State representative, I might, or whatever. Someone that you know personally, you not even then. Yeah. I want to know that they have talked with a lender. So my first explanation to them, and of course this is scripting, my script is, well, this is great. I would love to talk to you about that house. Have you had a chance to talk to a lender, or will you be buying cash? Because I don't want to, assume, I don't want to put them in a position. Oh, no, we're gonna be getting a loan. Excellent. Do you know what kind of a loan you're going to be getting, or have you gotten that far? We haven't picked a lender yet. Super. I'm glad to help you with this prospect. And then I go on to let me send you my lender list. Here's some people to call. Let's get that in place, because we don't want to be looking at property and find one we like and miss out because we're a day behind in getting our pre-qualification, or we might come up with surprises. I don't even make an exception if they tell me, hi, Swan, I want to look at your listing over here that you have. Oh, okay, get information. We have a house to sell. Oh, super. You're downsizing? No, we're going to get a bigger house. We're having a baby. Great. So glad to hear about that. Have you had a chance to talk to a lender yet about all this? No, because we're going to be selling our house. Oh, okay. We're just getting a small loan. No, they must talk to a lender first, because you do not know. I mean, I made this mistake too. I made every mistake in the book. I worked with someone for months. They were downsizing. Their house was too big. Their acreage was too big. They needed to sell it to buy something. We found a couple of houses. We found the house for them. We put it under contract, contingent on them selling theirs. They got theirs under contract, and come to find out, they did not have credit to be able to buy the other house. They were not going to be getting a big loan, little loan, but they could not, and it was moving. I cannot begin to tell you the amount of strings we pulled to get that one through. It was not a pretty sight. It was a nightmare. So pre-qualify everyone. Okay, now, so here's kind of the way, let's see. Okay, so here's a typical comment. No, I'm just looking and I'm not ready to talk to a lender. And I tell them this, I said, buying a home is a little bit the opposite of buying a car. When you're out there looking at cars, you go into the lot and you're like, oh, I really like that Mustang. Let me see, it's the right price. Let me go talk to my bank and see what they do. You go talk to the bank and you get the money or whatever, and you come back, you buy the Mustang, or you buy it with their little lot there. I said, buying a house is the opposite. I said, your lender conversations must happen first, and then we start looking for houses. And you'll find out that the people that are not motivated buyers, or the people that are time wasters, are gonna just go, oh, I don't really have time for that. I don't want to fill out that form. It takes too long. If they have no skin in the game, we don't want to put our skin in the game. So no, I don't work with that. And I explained to them, I said, you will actually want to talk to a lender first, so you will know the sort of house we should be finding for you based on that price range, loan type, appraisal, all that, right? And then I asked them this, motivation. How long have y'all been looking? This will give you a good clue of motivation. 2 years. Do they know what they want? Have they been kicked out of other realtors' cars for being indecisive? I don't play those games. I mean, it's okay if they've been looking for 2 years and haven't found the right thing. We're going to nail down what the right thing is. And I'm not going to allow them to do their whole, it's usually either a champagne taste on a beer budget, and they'll drive you all over hell and a half acre trying to look at everything that they don't want to pay for. They can't afford it. Or they are indecisive, like, let's look at the farm. Let's look at this townhouse. I want to buy in McCracken. Let's look at the lake. No, they're not motivated. There's a problem there. Nail them down. If they cannot be nailed down, they're not motivated. So anyway, and then I say this, okay, are you already, especially this, ask them. This is something that I have added since I wrote these notes before. Ask them, oh yeah, I'd love to help you. Have you looked at other homes? They'll probably say something like this. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Have you been inside other homes or are you looking on Zillow? Oh, I'm looking on Zillow. Okay, that's fine. Oh, no. Yeah, I know. I looked at a house last weekend. You did? Great. That was an eye roll. I said, great. Uh, who showed you the house? And they go, oh, I was out there with, someone from Copra. Oh, I see. Well, and then I just gently let them go, or I find out how committed they are to this corporate agent, if they've already signed an agreement, if they're working with them. A lot of times, if they can't reach their agent, they'll call list agent because they know that we will jump through hoops to go show them a house. And then the other agent that's been working with them gets upset because that's a breach of ethics. In my world, I don't do that. I don't play those games. There are people that play those games. Don't do it.
Luann, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if you cover this later, but I figured it might be a good time to ask. Whenever you do have people that have a pre-approval letter and say it's 225 and they consistently want to look at 250, 260, 270, what has been your go-to script to kind of gently tell them, hey, you can't afford this and you don't want to get too overextended? How have you done that?
Okay. Actually, those people that I was talking about pulled that on me. They had been looking and wanted to look at 300 and down, but we were looking in the 250, 275. And out of left field, she sends me a text. Hey, can we get into this house? It's listed at 430. Okay, well, I don't know. The script was long. I just went, no, don't play those games. I'm not going to play those games. So I guess I would have to role play because some of this stuff is just inside me because I don't really have a written script. But Brian, this is what I'll say. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. We've got your pre-approval letter and your bank said 225. Is that an amount that you gave them that you wanted to stay under, or is that what they're telling you you need to be at? Because I've worked with people and their pre-approval letter and everything is like 200, but then they tell me, well, or I'll talk to the bank and talk to the lender too, big time, talk to the lender. Say, hey, lender, is this person only qualified for 225 or can they go higher? They'll let you know. They're not going to just, get into if there's something like, no, they can't go that high. Or they'll tell you, yeah, they can afford more, but they really told me they want to be less. So start with the lender call.
Okay.
You know,
I didn't know how much to get involved because it's almost like it's their personal stuff. It's their finances. We're a realtor, but it's one of those. It's like,
we're representing them. We are going to take them to the closing table. And information is money in our world. And that's part of what if I get to it, I'm sorry, I'm dallying on this, but the information is our currency. We bank in information. We bank in information that we get from our buyers. The more information you get, and do it conversational. We don't want to interrogate like, when was the last time you looked at houses? But we've got to get all this information as a conversational. And that is how it ended up that these other people that I was dallying on that were at the front door of the fourth house I showed them tell me, yeah, I should have already had that information. But so you have someone that you're qualified for 225 and they're like, Brian, this one just popped up at 275. Find out what is interesting about that house. Are they thinking in their head, if you haven't written an offer for them yet, if you haven't gotten that far, are they going, yeah, because we're just going to offer 225 and see if they're going to take it because that house has been on the market for over 15 days and no one else wants it. So then you got to figure out, are they thinking that they're going to lowball? Because we don't play that game either. That's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I've done it, but we can't play that game as much as we can manage it. So I tell them this. Okay, well, that one was listed at 275. What's your thought on that? Do you want to go that high? After I talk with the lender and after I have the information, because I'm going to hold this information in me. I don't need to tell them everything I know just yet because I'm still qualifying them. Mm-hmm. 45 days we're qualifying these people. I mean, the bank is qualifying them. We're qualifying them. We're not going to mess around with people that are going to jerk us around. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying we're going to always know all the information. There's a lot of times when people hold some cards really close to their chest, and we got to be kind of, anxious about it. Got to go, why are they holding these cards close to their chest? What are they withholding from us, and why? Okay, I would do this. Okay, well, the reason I was asking is I had a chance to talk to your lender, And they really think it's best, like if the lender says, no, not over 225, they really think it's best if we stay under that 225 mark. So let's focus on that, and let's just stick to that.
Yeah.
And then see what they do. If they go, well, I can just call another realtor, because I know that Frank, who I used to work with 2 years ago, and the lady at the gym, they're realtors too, and they'll just show me that house. You know what? Whatever. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. We don't need to hang on to every single Tom, Dick, and Harry. Now, when we're new agents, we want to hang on to as much as possible. So we got to be more nuanced. We got to, sometimes we got to think like this. Okay, if it doesn't break ethics, okay, there's this $275,000 house. You're qualified for 225. I may call the agent and say, look, I'd like to preview your house. Going to have a buyer with me. I'm just letting you know they can't qualify to buy it. Are you okay with me showing that house? I'm showing them other property. See what they say. They may go, no, you're not going to waste my time. I don't do it if the house is lived in, and I don't know. I have wasted time with people like that. I'm not going to do it anymore. You're not going to do it either. You're too good now. So how long have they been working? Are they already working with another realtor? Do they rent or own their current home? So here's the scripts. So you find out, hey, great, love to show you that property. Reel them in. They're like fish. Okay, you're going to be paying cash, or you're going to be getting a loan? Fantastic. Cash, excellent. I wish I could do that. That's wonderful for you. All we're going to need before we get into that first house, we're just going to need that bank letter just saying that, we need to just have some proof of funds is all. It's no big deal. No big deal. If they push back, what do they do, Seth? If they give pushback, nah, we're not going to open up any doors for them. Okay. Do you need to sell a home before buying? And at that point, they've got to be qualified again, like I said. Another one that I missed out on is this one. I'm dealing with it now. Hey, so you said you're renting. That's excellent. Are you guys on a month to month? No, our lease is going to be up in October of 2022. Great. Okay.
Give me a
so,
call then.
Yeah, exactly. So let's figure out how long their lease is. Can they get out of it? If they find the right house, ask them if they're willing to break their lease. We're getting motivation. Okay. Will anyone else help you make that buying decision? You find out that you're showing the fiance all these houses, and the guy is the one making the decision, but he's working on the barges and he's not going to be back for 3 weeks. So find out who's going to be on the buying decision and tell them, really need both of you to be there, or whatever, use your discretion. Sometimes we have wives and husbands. No parents, no parents. Jeez. No. Here's the important thing, the parent thing. Yeah. So if you are working with a young couple and they're like, first house, so excited, we're going to look at these houses. Heather's dad is going to be coming along. And I go, oh, okay, I see that. He's very careful about what you guys, want to see. I understand that completely. Is Heather's dad going to be on the loan with you guys? Oh, he's not. Okay, well, if Heather's dad's not going to be on the loan, then why don't I just work with you guys? Because you're going to be liable for this payment for the next 30 years, and Heather's dad's not. Now, what you can do is you can show him some of the houses online, see what his thoughts are, see if he has any concerns, if he has any questions. We can work with that. But the quickest way to have a deal broken is to involve a parent. I'm a parent. I will break a deal, but no, I won't. But anyway, we just got to, yeah. I mean, we've all had situations, the parents do show up. I had a whole parade. I had the grandparents, the parents, the brother-in-law, the retarded sister, excuse me. I had everyone show up. I'm so sorry. We still use that word. I'm just kidding. Everyone showed up to look at this house. While I was trying to show this little house, Grandma ran in and used the toilet, and there was no water at the house, and it was a chaotic thing, and found out that the plumbing wasn't working, and there was poop there for 2 weeks. So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Totally not PC here. Okay, now, if we find that right property, here's the next question. Okay, if we find that right property, will you guys be prepared to make a decision right that day? And then you're going to find out the other stuff. Well, we're finishing up a school and my husband's going to be starting this new business and I'm getting a new job. Oh, great. Great. Good for you. So we got to find out how settled they are in their career. And this is what I do too. This is conversational. We are qualifying people with conversation. Do stuff like, oh, you like working at Walmart. How long have you been there? Oh, 2 months. Great. How are you going to be there for a while? Are you planning on moving up? What's your goal? These are where we're looking at the kitchen. Like, look at these counters. Look at the sink. So what are your goals there at Walmart? Oh, look at this. Oh, there's a little scratch on the wall. So have you applied for any promotions or anything? No, I'm just going to probably stay there for another week or two. And then I'm probably going to start working at McDonald's or whatever. Just cut them loose. Look at the time. Look at the time. I'm leaving. So, okay. Find out what times are best to contact them. Some people cannot be reached. Jot this stuff down, put it in your folder. What times are best to view properties? I tell them when my times are to view properties. I don't show property in the morning. Rare exception. I do not. That's my time. So I schedule everything from the earliest 11 o'clock on. Usually I focus 1 o'clock on. All my appointments are like that, so I can do my business in the morning. That's just what I've done for me. How do you guys like to communicate? Is it okay? I just tell them how I communicate. I go, hey, I want to get both the husband and the wife. I get you guys on a joint text so I can communicate. Don't want any missed or dropped balls anywhere. So if that works for you, I just tell them that. At that point, they'll go, oh, no, I don't even have a smartphone. I have a dumb phone or whatever. And then we go, okay, well, then I'll just call you guys. We'll just talk by phone. Can I send you stuff on email? No, I don't know what email is. So we have to, can you just give me a book? Whatever their deals are. So we have to deal with all that. But for the most part, I drive it. I have found I am in control of this relationship in a friendly and happy way with a lot of smiles and a lot of emojis in my texts. I am going to drive this because if you let them drive your business, you will be chasing after everything. It's just gonna be crazy. So don't chase after things. You drive your own business. Okay, now, always get something before giving something. These are in these notes that Mackenzie's going to send out. Examples. Get their phone number before telling them the price of a house. Get them to meet at the office before showing them property. And of course, in COVID world, get them to commit to something else. Get them to sign something online. Get their email. Get something from them. Information is key. Have them sign a loyalty agreement before carting them around in your car. Get their email address before sending them additional info on a house. All that stuff on realtor.com is available to them. We're not going to go, oh, let me get on the MLS and send you brand new information. It's all the same information. But you got to get something to give something. Never give something free unless you just plain don't want to deal with them and you don't have the time to deal with it. Someone calls you and you're like, a house is under, whatever, judge, but there's going to be times you're like, yeah, that house 139, I got to go buy, click. But for the most part, we're in an information thing, and information is our currency. We're always getting before we give. The buyer consultation, meet at the office first time, get them to commit. If they don't want to meet at the office, find out why. This will save hard down the road. Discuss using a realtor. Okay, this is going to be some language that we can't use anymore coming down the road, I think, with some legislation. I have here, discuss that using a realtor to buy a home is free to the buyer. This is part of that trust laws that's in legislation right now against saying that. So whatever words we say, I just exit it out from my little paper here. Say what you need to say. I usually say, the sellers carry the lion's share of all this cost, and I'll be happy to show you anything. I don't charge you a dime. You're not going to be charged a dime until we get to closing, and then you'll pay for the house and a few little fees, a few little $175 fees on there. So we got to do that. Okay, if for some reason we aren't a match, I'm working with my buyers, and there's going to be people that we do not G-haul with. If for some reason we aren't a match, let me know and just move on. No harm, no foul. We don't need to work with everyone. When you have your business starting to be established, when your database is starting to be built, I told my son, he does not have that luxury yet. He's getting the luxury. I said, you don't have the luxury yet. You work with every person I send you. But when you get to the point that your business is starting to roll, We have the luxury of choosing who we want to work with. They're hiring us, we are hiring them in a sense too. Okay, the other thing that I do, and this bores some people to death, but I don't care. I give them a folder. I am so candid. I give them a folder with all this little information about my buyer thing. I have my little buyer stuff. I have a little buyer handout with a list of lenders and home inspectors and all this kind of stuff. I have found in my world, and this is just me, my person, because I'm in my 50s and I think this way, that giving them something gets them indebted to me. And I look at my folder of information as a gift. I'm like, I'm giving you something that you were indebted to me. I will tell you something else that I do with buyers. If they're good buyers and I feel like they're going to be worth something, if I have vetted them, I feel they're good, I will buy them lunch. I will take them out. You guys probably do that too. I will do it because they owe me and they will come back and they have sent their people back. So I don't do it with everyone. And I tell them, I go, I just love you so much. I don't do this with everyone, but I mean, and it's been like a Wendy's meal. I sold a house 3 times because of a Wendy's lunch. 3 times.
Well,
You
worth
know
it.
which one that is. That's Fancy Farm.
Oh, yeah.
I took them to lunch at Wendy's. We got little chicken sandwiches. Yep. Sold it 3 times in 4 months. Yeah,
That's crazy.
it was crazy.
Are you
Yeah,
still
I remember
making
that
lunch?
That's probably just your good service.
No, it was Wendy's.
It was lunch.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably
We had
a
the-
bit trickier because there wasn't many options in 2020 to take people to eat.
No, we can't go fast
We're like,
food.
look at the drive-through.
No, we don't. No, we do.
Follow me by. I'll
We do
pay for your meal.
dumplings. At the height of 2020, where did we take those people that bought the lot? We took them to
Oh, we took them to Ralph's Harbor View,
yeah, we took some people. We were out looking at lake property. We took them to Ralph's Harbor View. That was not cheap.
Where's that at?
Gilbertsville.
I don't know.
It's on the marina.
Oh,
It's
you
on the marina.
totally
Really
need to
nice.
go there. Ralph's Harbor View is like a vacation.
Oh, wow.
Good meal.
Really? I'm gonna write that down.
Is it
Yes.
like a-
Go to Moore's Campground and go all the way to the end to get to the.
Is it waterfront?
Yeah.
Like
It's on the marina.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. We lived here for
Yeah.
15 years before we discovered that.
Super good.
So yeah, I've also taken people Cypress, little Cypress restaurant.
I've not been, but I've heard of it.
It's good. You need to go there. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I go over the sales contract. This is the most important thing that I do. I go over the sales contract with them. First house, I open it up and I show it to them. Their eyes are going to glaze over. I don't go through every single word, but I explain to them what's expected. I define earnest money, especially for first-time homebuyers. I define all the terms. I tell them how we're going to do closing costs. These are the things that you guys need to know. This is your sample. When we sign everything electronically, you have this as a reference guide, and I send them with that. So looking at homes, we are still qualifying buyers when we are looking at homes. Ask questions about everything while they're looking at the homes. Don't interrogate, make conversation. Information is our commodity. So how long have you been working at the hospital? This is the same stuff I told you. Have you looked at homes in this area before? Is this your first home purchase? So have you moved many times? Where else have you lived? We're not making conversation. We are interviewing. We're getting information. It sounds like conversation, looks like conversation. Okay, we are looking for clues that can cause the deal to fall apart. Are these folks job jumpers? Have they had a bankruptcy or foreclosure? Perhaps that might abort the deal. Have they put offers on other homes with other agents? What happened? Have they been moonlighting with other realtors? Little adultering people out there? Are they carousing with FSBOs without letting you know first? So we need to know that. Other clues. If they're unwilling to give you information, withholding crucial information like who their lender is, what their loan type is an issue. What else will come back to haunt us? Find out what's important to them about the homes that they choose to look at. This is what I use. Okay, find out what's important about these homes. I use this to nail them to the wall when they start telling me that a home is not going to work for them and because they are vacillating or they're not motivated buyers. Like those lake home buyers, vaulted ceilings, fireplace, lake area, all that stuff. When they, so I'm finding out this information as I'm showing them property, what all of their, what they really like. They might tell you one thing, oh, anything is fine. We don't care. A little house in the town. And the next thing you know, they're like, we really got to live in the county and we got to have this, we got to have that. So we need to keep qualifying them. Help them mentally move in. This is not beyond buyer consultation. This is when we are closing the sale. Got to close the sale. Help them mentally move in. So which room are you going to put your sewing stuff? Where's little Isaac gonna sleep? Is this patio gonna work for those barbecues you like to have? So Frank, will your Chicago Bear stuff go in that family room, or are you gonna make a man cave out of the basement? Ha, 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 ha. So get all this information. Okay, they found a home. It's not over. The first time home buyers will have anxiety. They're gonna wonder, is this the best home? What about the ones still coming up? Did they make the right choice?
Hear that a lot.
Yes. Did they make the right choice? Okay, this is what you do. Every conversation with them, you confirm their decision over and over. Confirm it. I made this mistake with one of my first buyer that fell apart. I'd been an agent for 4 months. And so here's what I do. Confirm their decision over and over during the next 45 days. They're going to be going through a hairy inspection. You tell them, every inspection report is like 60 pages or so. If yours is less than that, great. Tell them, we're just looking for the big thing, just deal breakers. You've got to explain to them the inspection of what that process is. We are not fear mongering. We smooth everything over as much as possible. Every conversation about the important steps in the process should have confirmation in it. Hey, I think you've made a fantastic choice. You're going to love that patio or whatever they loved about the home. Since you love that family home over, this is going to be perfect for you. Their home choice. This is a lesson for me because I am a control freak. I just admit that. Their home choice may not have been our best choice for them, but it's their best choice for them. So we need to affirm that. I've had people, I've shown them 4 great houses and 1 dud, and they're like, this dud is the one for me, is the one I want. We're writing an offer on the dud, and I'm like, I hope they don't call me to sell this thing. I hate this house. And then I just refer it out because they do. So when they call me or we're making a decision on the dud, I find something good to say about it and I praise it. So I was like, those red cabinets are great. You're never going to miss your kitchen. You're going to know exactly where it is. It's right there. Focus on whatever it is. The front door. I mean, whatever, these doorknobs, it's great to have doorknobs at work. I love a house that has working doorknobs. So we're going to affirm that. So working through the difficulties, and this is what separates a qualified buyer from a flippant one who is wasting our time. And you will get people under contract that are flippant buyers that waste our time. We don't diminish the seriousness of the inspection, but we don't want to scare the daylights out of them. So we don't have any drama. I'm full of drama. I like to play around, but not with my clients. No. I mean, I'll joke around with them about everything else, but when it comes to this, it's even keel. We keep all of our emotions between the lines. We do warn them that a home inspection report is the largest honey-do list of all. There will be a ton of items on every single one, even homes that seem perfect. I explained to them I had a brand new house, never lived in, $350,000 house, and it had still like a 35-page home inspection on it. I said, no house is perfect. We're only concerned with defects. And then we are looking for safety issues, structure, all this. This is another point of negotiation. Now, the sellers may or may not make repairs. If they don't repair everything we ask them this: are you prepared to buy the home and take care of those things yourself later? If they are not very committed to that home. We want them to be in love with their house. And if they are not fully in love with it, we're going to make them in love with it because we are matchmakers. So we say the sellers may or may not make them. If they don't repair it, are you prepared to buy the home and take care of those issues yourself? If they are not willing, they may not be ready to be a homeowner. Be a discerner of the red flags that come up from time to time as you meet your buyers through that home hunt, and be prepared to let them go or fire them if the cost comes too high. Okay, I'm done with my race talking. Okay, you guys have any questions?
That was really good. I wish Amanda was here.